Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Date in a Blink, where we're hosting Quinn and Brianna for a Blink date. Modern dating sucks, but it doesn't have to. Here on the Date in a Blink podcast, you'll listen in on 10-minute voice-only speed dates between strangers. The experience is designed to move people beyond mindless swiping and marathon messaging. Our position on online dating? It's time to stop collecting pen pals and start, going on actual dates.
Online dating? That actually involves dating? Is that even a thing anymore? But for real, dating should be fun. We hope listening in inspires y'all to try new ways of meeting people. Tune in every other week to hear a new couple go on a date. In between, we'll talk to relationship experts about how the date went and what we can learn from it.
Will our handpicked podcast matches find love on these Blink dates? Or will they say goodbye to each other after 10 minutes and never look back? Tune in to find out.
Before we jump into today's Blink date, here's a quick word from our sponsors.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain a bit. It's totally free, and Anchor will distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and lots of other podcasting platforms. Not only that, but it has creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also lets you make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make your podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Today's date prompt comes from The And, a card game by the Emmy Award-winning studio The Skin Deep, designed to give people a little more space for a lot more openness, honesty, and vulnerability. If you want to start asking bigger questions and get to know someone beyond the surface, check out their decks at shop.theskindeep.com. That's shop.theskindeep.com, and use code BLINK10 at checkout for 10% off your order. Hey listeners, a quick heads up before you listen to this episode. Unfortunately, we had some connectivity issues when we first started the date, so the part where they answer the question was lost. But, so you don't feel left out, I'd ask Brianna and Quinn, what's a recurring thought of yours that you imagine nobody else has? Quinn's response was lost amidst our connection woes, but Brianna shared that as a child, she used to wonder if the people in her posters could see her. I never wondered that before, but now I kind of do. In any case, we hope you enjoy the episode.
So I actually have no idea how this works, to be honest. It's kind of an interesting concept, but I don't know if there are like rules to it or what we're supposed to talk about other than the intro question.
Same. I mean, it's boring, or not boring, but basic, your typical intro questions. But what do you do for work?
So I'm currently working on some tech startup. So I founded about a year ago.
Oh wow, that's really cool. You founded it yourself?
Yeah, and that's how I kind of actually came across this. Is like one of our founder support friend groups posted something about this, and so I stumbled upon the Blink in a Date thing and offered to try it out.
Cool.
What about you?
I work in public relations, and I actually came across this because it came through on one of the newsletters I subscribe to for kind of different podcast and media opportunities that are out there.
Oh, interesting. Oh, which one is that?
I think in this case it was Quoted.
Okay. Interesting. And that just like covers podcasts like that you'd be interested in listening to or podcasts that you want to be on?
It's not just podcasts in this case, but it's a place where different media platforms. So, it could be like Forbes, it could be BuzzFeed, it could be any number of outlets as well as podcasts, or even local TV stations. Honestly, they can go on the platform and say, hey, I'm looking for, an expert who can speak about this topic. And then you can pitch them in return and say, hey, my client can speak to this topic and here's some of the information that they can share with you. Do you want to connect with them?
Oh, so it's kind of like Haro.
It's exactly like it's just another version.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So I like subscribe to Haro, but I hadn't heard Quoted. Maybe I'll check it out.
Quoted is a newer one. There's a free version like Haro, but there is also a paid version as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice. So what's on that topic though? What's your favorite? Do you get like a daily mailer? What's your favorite one? I feel like I get 1,000 now.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know how many newsletters I get at this point, but I think my favorite ones are probably from Time and Fast Company.
Okay.
I just think they do a really, both format wise and content wise, they just do a really nice job. And I apologize if you hear noises in the background. My bedroom door is shut and my cat has decided he disagrees.
That's okay. I can, definitely understand. Thankfully, my dog's not making noise right now, but that's interesting. I actually, Time and Fast Money. I don't have either of those.
Okay, Time especially, I think they do a good job of getting like a good mix of different things, healthcare, current events, climate change, all of that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'll have to check that out. I feel like mine, I have like a few that are kind of the same. And so it gets kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like a few different news sites, but I really like, I think the New York Times has done a really good one on like the daily COVID update. It's a little depressing, but they have like actual data, which is really cool. Like it's very data centric versus just kind of random segments of the day. And then I like the executive sum. I'm not in finance, but I find it funny. Some of the stuff that they put out, it's basically just like finance stuff of the day.
I don't think I've heard of that one. I'll have to look it up because I have, I'm not super into finance, but I do have clients in that space. So
yeah, it's run by like kind of like a meme Instagram account. Okay. So it's quasi joke, but they have real information. So it's, they just don't take themselves too seriously versus some of the other mailers kind of do.
That sounds kind of like the Daily Carnage. I don't know if you've ever heard of that one.
In passing, maybe, yeah.
Okay, that one's more marketing focused, but yeah, they try to be quippy and little sound bites and all that.
Wow, it's crazy when you think about how many. I mean, it's just I don't know when these started, maybe a few years ago, but now just everybody and their mother has like one of these mailers that they send out all the time.
I started my current job only about 2 months ago, and it was like, okay, now I have to, re-sign up for all of them. And it was one of those things that had slowly accumulated at my last job. And so I was like, wait a second, how many am I just going out and resubscribing to? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's kind of absurd, but anyway, so you're new to the job. Does that mean you're new to the city?
Not completely new. So I've been in Atlanta for just over 2 years now. But new to this job, and this job is more in the city. I was kind of on the perimeter before.
Okay. Nice. Do you like it?
I love it.
Bail?
I love it. I bought my first house in February, so I am ideally here for the long term now that I'm kind of stuck with some roots. And I have family in the area as well.
Oh, nice. Congrats. That's a big move. First house.
Yeah.
It's a commitment.
Was slightly terrifying, not gonna lie, but it's been nice to not have to pay rent. I mean, I still have a mortgage, but at least I own it now.
Yeah. How was that process in Atlanta? I feel like, in the current climate, it's been difficult.
I got so lucky. And that was part of why I bought the house that I did. I actually found my house is a new build, which I quite frankly did not think I could afford. It's a new build. I was not looking at new builds. I was not looking at townhouses or anything of the sort. I completely wanted something different. And my realtor was like, well, but just look at this one. Like, let's just try it. And I saw it and was like, that's it. I didn't I got in early enough that I could customize a lot of it. And, it's nice. Not in the area. It's not in a bad area. It's just not in like the area I would have picked, as far as like restaurants and food scene and all of that. But it was surprisingly easier to find than I thought it would be. Like, I think I literally think it was just lucky timing.
Nice. Well, that's cool. I mean, if it worked out, it worked out. That's cool. It's always exciting. I feel like it's definitely one of the biggest purchases you'll make. So it's cool to like have a good experience with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was lucky. I got my realtor was a recommendation from somebody I knew. So, I at least had that kind of in my back pocket to start with.
Nice. So if you had your best restaurant near you, what kind of restaurant would it be?
Oh God. If we're talking like right near me, it's as good as fast food. That's as good as it's gonna get.
I mean, like ideally, if you could just like pick up something and put it right next to your house.
Ideally, I don't know that there's a specific like kind of food as far as like Mexican or Italian or American or anything like that, but just I love a good local restaurant that has good food, good vibes. And I just like supporting a local restaurant. Nothing against the chains, but I just like supporting a local restaurant. And I just think that there's something to be said for going to a place that you can't find anywhere else.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that makes sense. You can normally get more of an experience.
Yeah, I will say that said, anytime it's good Mexican, I am 100% there. Or, it's classic, but a good burger and fries will get me anytime.
Nice. The basics. There you go. Yes. I gotta say, I definitely like the kind of same thing. Sort of the mom and pop shops. Like it's great to support, but I found that especially during the pandemic stuff, like with the remote ordering and stuff, it makes it almost harder. Like I've fallen into like eating Chipotle more recently just because their online ordering is so easy and I can just swing by and pick it up.
Same, like Wendy's or McDonald's. So not healthy, but if I'm like, it's just been a long day and I don't want to cook, it takes 5 seconds.
Yeah, which is kind of frustrating. And then, or like if you have to go and wait and stuff, like it's tough at some of the like kind of non-chain spots. But I think especially these days, like they need so much support because it's so hard for them. But,
or how long have you been in the area? Or are you from the area?
I'm in Austin. So
okay.
Yeah, but I haven't been here that long. But there's a lot of, one of the things I really like about it is it's so many fewer chains than most places.
At this point in the day, I jumped in to let them know that their date had ended and let them say their farewells. Oh gosh, we had a ton of tech issues on this date. It got disconnected twice and that threw things off a bit. The prompt got a bit lost because of the disconnections, so Quinn and Brianna went into more of the standard get-to-know-you fare, like what do you do for a living? Curious if they ended up making a connection despite it all? Tune in next week where we'll chat with an expert about the date and reveal whether they matched. That's all we've got for you today. Shoot us a message on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at @TheBlinkDate or at @DateInABlink to let us know what you think. If you want to try voice-first speed dating from the comfort of your home, download the Blink Date app today. You can also sign up to participate in Date in a Blink by visiting our website at www.theblinkdate.com. In the meantime, thanks for joining us for this episode. We hope you enjoyed listening and look forward to talking with you again next time.